The internet has revolutionized the way we consume information. Today we have access to a vast ocean of information at our fingertips. Algorithms, powered by artificial intelligence, curate our digital lives, determining what we see, read, and engage with. From personalized recommendations to tailored news feeds, algorithms shape our online journeys. However, this personalized web has a darker side, creating echo chambers where dissenting voices are silenced. As algorithms filter information, they can lead to intellectual isolation and the reinforcement of extreme viewpoints. Imagine scrolling through your social media feed and engaging with a political article. The algorithm notes your interest and curates your feed accordingly. Gradually, your feed becomes an echo chamber, filtering out dissenting opinions. This self-perpetuating cycle reinforces biases and can lead to intellectual isolation. Beyond social media, search engines and news aggregators also tailor content to our preferences. The internet, once a tool for diversity, risks becoming a breeding ground for confirmation bias. The human brain craves consistency and order, extending to our beliefs and opinions. We gravitate towards information that confirms our worldview, finding comfort in the familiar. Algorithms exploit this tendency, feeding us information that aligns with our beliefs. Dissenting opinions are filtered out, creating a predictable online experience. The more time we spend in echo chambers, the more entrenched our beliefs become. This leads to intellectual rigidity and intolerance, as we become less willing to engage with different viewpoints. Imagine a world where every piece of information you encounter aligns with your beliefs. This filter bubble creates a personalized reality, silencing dissenting voices. Our understanding of the world becomes narrow and distorted. This narrowing of perspectives hinders meaningful dialogue and debate. The filter bubble poses a threat to democracy, isolating individuals in their own information ecosystems. A society unable to engage with alternative viewpoints is ripe for manipulation and division. Extremist groups exploit digital echo chambers to spread hate and division. They create content designed to evoke strong emotional responses, generating engagement. The algorithm amplifies this content, creating a feedback loop of exposure. Users find themselves on a slippery slope, their online experience dominated by extremism. This algorithmic manipulation can lead to real-world violence and mainstream traction for extremist ideologies. Algorithms designed to personalize experiences inadvertently amplify extremist messages. The internet has become a breeding ground for hate exploited by extremists. Algorithms create digital echo chambers where hate speech flourishes. Extremist groups create content to evoke strong emotional responses, generating engagement. These echo chambers serve as virtual training grounds for radicalization. The algorithm reinforces engagement with extremist content, pushing individuals further down the rabbit hole. The internet, in the hands of extremists, becomes a tool for division and hate. Extremism often begins with disillusionment and a sense of being unheard. Extremist groups target vulnerable individuals, offering a simplistic us versus them narrative. Algorithms can accelerate radicalization by reinforcing engagement with extremist content. This creates a digital echo chamber, bombarding individuals with information that fuels their anger. The algorithm becomes an unwitting accomplice to the spread of extremist ideologies. Propaganda, the art of persuasion through manipulation, has evolved in the digital age. Extremist groups use visual imagery, emotional storytelling, and viral marketing to spread hate. Social media algorithms amplify extremist propaganda, creating a viral loop. The anonymity of the internet allows extremists to spread disinformation with impunity. The digital age has given extremists a global megaphone to spread their ideologies. The internet's reach and speed make digital propaganda more pervasive and insidious. The line between the virtual and real is blurring, with online hate spilling into our lives. Radicalized individuals translate online hatred into real-world action, increasing hate crimes. Extremist views, normalized online, erode social norms and fuel violence. The internet breeds a new generation of extremists, desensitized to violence and radicalized by propaganda. This cycle of violence calls for collective responsibility to build a more inclusive online world. Online radicalization is a global phenomenon, with extremist groups leveraging the internet. They exploit cultural and political tensions to recruit followers and incite violence. The internet provides tools, training and connections for aspiring terrorists. Intelligence agencies struggle to keep pace with the evolving threat of online radicalization. The sheer volume of content and encrypted communication methods complicate tracking efforts. The internet has become a breeding ground for a new generation of terrorists, more dispersed and dangerous. The erosion of trust, disinformation and the weaponization of information. The digital age has ushered in an era of information overload, where truth and falsehoods are often intertwined, making it difficult to discern fact from fiction. This has created a fertile ground for the spread of disinformation, the deliberate spreading of false or misleading information, often with the intent to deceive or manipulate public opinion. Extremist groups, political actors, and even nation-states have weaponized disinformation, using it to sow discord, undermine trust in institutions, and influence elections. They create fake news websites, spread rumors on social media, and manipulate algorithms to amplify their messages and drown out dissenting voices. This constant barrage of disinformation has a corrosive effect on public trust. As people are bombarded with conflicting narratives and manipulated by sophisticated propaganda campaigns, they become increasingly skeptical of traditional sources of information, such as journalists, experts, and government officials. This erosion of trust creates a dangerous vacuum, one that can be easily exploited by those seeking to spread chaos and division. When people lose faith in the institutions and sources of information that once held society together, they become more susceptible to extremist ideologies, conspiracy theories, and manipulative narratives. The real cost of hate, from online harassment to offline violence. The consequences of online hate and extremism extend far beyond the digital realm. The vitriol spewed in online forums, the threats made on social media, and the harassment campaigns orchestrated by extremist groups have real-world consequences, often with devastating impacts on individuals and communities. Online harassment, once dismissed as a trivial matter, is now recognized as a serious form of abuse. Victims of online harassment often experience anxiety, depression, fear, and social isolation. In extreme cases, online harassment can escalate to stalking, doxing, the public release of private or identifying information, and even physical violence. The rise of hate crimes is another alarming consequence of online hate and extremism. Fueled by online propaganda, extremist ideologies, and a culture of intolerance, hate crimes are on the rise in many parts of the world, targeting individuals and communities based on their race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity. The human cost of online hate and extremism is immeasurable. It destroys lives, tears families apart, and undermines the very fabric of our societies. It is a stark reminder that words have power, and that the hatred and intolerance we allow to fester online can have deadly consequences in the real world. The fragility of democracy in the digital age. Democracy thrives on an informed citizenry, one that is capable of engaging in reasoned debate, respecting diverse viewpoints, and holding leaders accountable. However, the rise of online echo chambers, the spread of disinformation, and the proliferation of hate speech pose a significant threat to the very foundations of democracy. When citizens are trapped in their own information bubbles, fed a steady diet of biased news, and manipulated by sophisticated propaganda campaigns, their ability to make informed decisions is compromised. Elections, once a cornerstone of democratic societies, can be manipulated through voter suppression tactics, the spread of disinformation and foreign interference, all amplified by the power of social media. The rise of online extremism also poses a direct threat to democratic values. Extremist groups, often fueled by hate, intolerance, and a disdain for democratic norms, exploit the freedoms afforded by democratic societies to spread their ideologies and undermine the very systems that guarantee those freedoms. The internet, once hailed as a tool for democratization, has become a double-edged sword. While it has the potential to empower citizens, amplify marginalized voices, and hold those in power accountable, it can also be used to spread disinformation, manipulate public opinion, and incite violence, ultimately undermining the very foundations of democratic societies. Resisting the algorithm's pull. The digital age has unveiled a harsh reality. Our minds are vulnerable to manipulation by unseen forces. Algorithms designed to keep us engaged have hijacked our critical thinking, feeding us confirmation bias. Breaking free requires a conscious effort to reclaim our digital autonomy. The first step is awareness. Recognize that algorithms are sophisticated tools designed to keep us engaged, often at the expense of critical thinking. Be mindful of the content you consume and question the sources of information. Seek out perspectives that challenge your beliefs. Engage in respectful dialogue to understand different perspectives. Building a resilient society. Our collective responsibility. Breaking free from the echo chamber is not just an individual responsibility, it is a collective imperative. We must work together to create a more resilient information ecosystem, one that is resistant to manipulation, fosters critical thinking, and promotes informed dialogue. Tech companies have a crucial role to play in this endeavor. They must acknowledge the unintended consequences of their algorithms and take steps to mitigate the harms they can cause. This includes promoting media literacy, providing users with greater transparency and control over their data, and developing algorithms that prioritize healthy engagement over addictive algorithms that prioritize engagement over societal well-being. Governments have a responsibility to promote digital literacy, protect freedom of the press, and hold tech companies accountable for the societal impacts of their platforms. They should invest in educational programs that teach critical thinking skills, media literacy, and the responsible use of technology. They should also enact regulations that protect user privacy, prevent the spread of disinformation, and combat online hate speech, while upholding freedom of expression. Ultimately, the fight against the echo chamber is a fight for the future of our societies. It is a fight to preserve the values of democracy, tolerance, and informed debate. It is a fight that requires all of us to be active, engaged, and critical consumers of information, committed to building a digital world that reflects the best of humanity, not the worst. Reclaiming our digital future. The digital age has brought us to a crossroads. Technologies designed to connect us have become tools of manipulation and control. The echo chamber threatens reason, empathy, and a just society, but this is not an insurmountable fate. We have the power to reclaim our digital future. It begins with awareness and recognizing how algorithms shape our perceptions. We must become conscious consumers of information and engage in respectful dialogue. Demand accountability from tech giants and support independent journalism. Commit to being better digital citizens, spreading kindness and understanding. It's time to break free from algorithms and build a digital world reflecting the best of humanity. If you found this video insightful, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and check out other spine-chilling AI nightmare videos in our playlist.